What is the weirdest thing that you've ever done to make money? I know what my favorite story of yours is. It's about the time that you chopped off pieces of and then you sold it to tourists. Sorry guys, we have construction going on upstairs, so if you hear a lot of background noise, that's what it is.
Every Monday.
The good news is that the neighbor who walks around at 2 a.m. moved away, but the bad news is it's been under construction for months now. Luckily just more in the front, so we'll see how that turns out for us, I guess.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Right?
Fingers crossed that it turns out okay. Okay, do you know what we always say for the intro?
Oh, it's been a while.
Don't you watch my videos?
I do, but it's been a while, right?
What's up, fam, and welcome back. My name is Marissa, and I'm here with my husband.
Hello.
And the reason we're here is because I asked you guys to celebrate the hitting 100,000 followers if you wanted to see a Q&A with just me, a Q&A with me and my husband, or a video about decluttering hacks. And the voting was so close between decluttering hacks and Q&A with my husband that we decided just to do both. But what this really made me realize is that you are more popular than me on my channel.
I doubt that.
I don't know why that is. I do all the work, but you guys want to see him more than me.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, so I've got my notes over here to the side, so if you see me looking this way, I'm just checking the notes. I'm gonna read the notes that I took. You guys had a lot of questions, and we're gonna do our best to answer as many as we can, okay? That's the plan. I asked this actually on my Instagram the other day, and a lot of people answered and asked me my opinion too, so I thought that this would be a fun one for us to start with. What movie traumatized you the most as a child? Okay, you go first.
For me, I would say Freddy Krueger, I think.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
That was the name of the movie. It was Nightmare on Elm Street, and the character was Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Did you have nightmares?
Not nightmares, but I certainly was pretty scared, I think, back then.
I didn't watch it until I was older because I knew it would probably be scary. Yeah. For me, I had a lot of movies that traumatized me as a kid, but I think the biggest one was The Never Ending Story. 2 parts. There was The Horse. People who are watching this are gonna know what I'm talking about. And then there's the part with the wolf in the cave. And you've never seen The Never Ending Story, have you?
No.
So, and then also E.T. scared me a lot, like the part where he turns white. I think I just came in and I saw him white, and then I ran out of the room, and I have never watched E.T. since then. I refuse.
Really?
No. Have you?
I watched it. I didn't think it was that scary. It was more interesting, I think, mysterious.
Mysterious?
Why?
I've never seen it. Okay, the next question. Do you miss the USA? And have you experienced any culture shock moving to Germany?
Well, I certainly knew what we were getting into it, right?
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of, right? I would say we definitely miss the States, right? I mean, the food, right? The food is one of the things that comes up on a daily basis, basically, right? I mean, we really love the great food option in Chicago, New Jersey, New York.
Pizza, burgers,
everything.
Korean food.
It felt like
Chinese food.
All the food in the US is much better than here.
I think I haven't experienced much culture shock except for besides public nakedness. I don't know, can I say that? I have to tell this story, okay? So we went walking in the woods one time, and we were walking in the woods. We were like way deep into the woods, and we took a break. We decided to have some snacks, and I decided to go deep into the woods to go pee. And I was like just getting ready to pull down my pants, and I saw something huge moving through the woods. And it was like pink and making a lot of noise. And I was like, what is that? And I looked and I realized it wasn't a wild boar. It was a naked man wearing a backpack in the deep woods, and it scared me to death, and I sprinted out and I said, oh my gosh, there's a naked man walking through the woods, and it turns out that not far from where we were is like a naked sunning area in the woods, like an open space where people sun, and I guess he was headed to that.
Yeah, and I think it's viewed very normal.
Yeah, you can just like we go for some walks, and there's like lakes where people just lay out naked on, and it's cold too. It'll be cold and they'll still be out there naked. That's definitely been an adjustment thing for me.
We really love the great parks we have here, right? And the walkability in the city. Everywhere basically you can just walk if you like to walk, right?
Actually, that's something, we don't have a car anymore. We didn't update people about that. That was actually just a company car, and we returned the company car, and so now we no longer have a car, but that's not an issue for us because the public transportation here is so good. And then also we've signed up for some ride sharing apps, but right now we're not going much of anywhere.
I still think we need a car, but Marissa thinks we don't. We'll test it out.
I think it's a very different experience for us to not have a car because I haven't not had a car since I was like 16. My dad got me this like really crappy Dodge Shadow for like $200. It didn't accelerate above 35 miles per hour, and the windows didn't roll down, and it didn't have air conditioning, so that was a lot of fun. But I mean, I still was mobile and had a car ever since I was 16, and you've pretty much always had a car too, right?
Yeah, for almost 30 years.
So it's definitely a different experience not having a car, and let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Did your husband ever comment that you had too much stuff before minimalism?
I mean, when we first met, you were just graduating from college, right?
I had graduated and started my first job.
Yeah, that's why. You started your first job, you finished your master's. So we're moving you into a new apartment, and man, we spent a whole day, right? I mean, literally, I would say at least 8 hours moving his stuff, and a full day and a broken back, I would say. That's what I remember.
And that wasn't even all of my stuff, because like a lot of my stuff was still in Indiana in the basements and the closets of other people's homes, because when my childhood home, I lost my dad and my home, and I just didn't have enough capacity to have everything myself, so it kind of just went wherever I could find space for it, and it was tucked away. So I think you were pretty overwhelmed with all of the baggage that I came with. Yeah,
I mean, it was a lot, right? And I think I wasn't mean about it, so I would say, correct?
Well,
I was kindly just pushing you to think about it. My question was always, do you need all this stuff? And you really didn't.
I didn't, but at the time, I wasn't ready to hear that I didn't need it. And I think that that's important for people who are dealing with this, with partners and kids that aren't on board, is for me, it was a very painful and scary idea to say, get rid of this stuff. I don't know, it was hard. I had to get rid of a lot of stuff when I moved in with him. So it was tough. Yeah. There was definitely some adjusting that needed to be done. What is the biggest benefit that you've experienced after decluttering? I know what I feel, and I'm curious to hear what you say.
I would definitely think more zen. I feel more peaceful.
Peace of mind?
Peace of mind, definitely.
I agree. I feel like the tranquility has just seeped into every aspect of our life, from being able to get things done and not feeling stressed out with the workload and the cleaning. And when the guys are, being messy, even their biggest messes now don't stress me out to the point where I feel like I just want to throw everything out the window. There's so much more bandwidth for peace. Now this next question kind of goes with that question, which is, have we faced the clutter creep? And they worded it like when you've decluttered and set your intentions, but then the closet slowly fills back up, or other aspects slowly fill back up. So do you feel like we've had clutter creeping back into our house?
I mean, it always happens a little bit, but I think we're very sensitive towards clutter creep. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you, me, we both are very sensitive
Yeah.
towards that. When we see things laying around, we want to get rid of it.
I think we're very intentional and mindful about what we bring into our home, but still sometimes like mistakes are made, like my fake bamboo plant,
Yeah.
which was, you know, it like looks good online and I ordered it and then it gets here and it's, you know, obviously looks like a very fake plant. So I ended up giving that away on a buy nothing group. But I think that we're pretty good like about using things like the 1 in 1 out rule, or, you know, just being really mindful and thinking about things for a certain amount of time. Like I don't even think about things for 30 days. Sometimes I think about things for way longer before I finally pull the trigger and buy. Oh, this next question is one of the most divisive topics on my YouTube channel, and that is, your echoes are horrible. Why don't you get a rug? I had no idea when I started this YouTube channel that rugs would be like such a hot topic. Why don't we get a rug?
Well, you know,
Maybe they don't know.
I don't think we like to clean rugs, right? Rugs get dirty eventually and pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah.
And it traps dirt, right? It's not easy. Even if you vacuum it, I think it's still, you know, dirt is, you know, traps deep inside the rug.
Yeah.
Unless you have a way to clean it properly, I would say, you know.
It's the maintenance. I think that the maintenance idea scares us. And I had only recently started considering a rug though, because my best friend in Canada bought a new home and she got 3 rugs, and she got these ruggable rugs that have the tops that you can remove. And she says that they are amazing and she loves them, and they're so easy to wash. And so since I saw that, I was researching and I thought that they didn't even have a German store, but then I found out that they did. I even put it on my vision board that I wanted a ruggable rug, but he was anti-rug, completely anti-rug, but I think you're coming around.
I'm just wondering how it really works. Yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe not buying 2 at a time, right? Just buy 1 and test it out.
Let me know down in the comments section below, are you team rug or team no rug? I'd love to hear your comments. I got a lot of questions about like who does the cooking, what do we eat in a week, what languages do we speak, how did I learn Chinese? I think I answered a lot of those questions in this video that I will link above. That was the original Meet My Husband Q&A. I'm not gonna dive into all of those because I think that I answered a lot of it in that video. So you can check out that video if you want. This person asked, how do you and Mr. Zen balance domestic tasks like cooking, cleaning, money management, etc.? He does all of the vacuuming.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've had people comment before, like, why doesn't your husband make the bed? And I'm like, I like to make the bed, and he likes to vacuum the floor.
Cause I don't like dust.
Yes.
So I like to vacuum, and Marissa doesn't like clutter.
so we're completely the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand clutter, like stuff lying around, but he's totally okay with just like leaving his shirts hanging over the radiator. As
long as everything else is clean, the floor, the windows.
But I'm okay. I'm totally okay. I don't even notice like a fine dusting of dust. I don't even notice it. But you like to keep the floors sparkling clean, right?
So you can eat off it.
So when I have people comment, they're like,
I can't believe you fold your towels on the floor.
I'm like, our floors you can literally eat food off of. And that's all because of him.
Absolutely.
So it's funny because I'm like anti-clutter and he's like anti-dust.
We complement each other.
It's a compliment,
Yeah.
yes. You are my strength. Let's see, what's the next one? How do you stay motivated when you're busy, anxious, overwhelmed, and there's so much to sort through? So I think when you're really busy and anxious and overwhelmed, one tip is just to do it, just to carve out, like set a timer if you have to for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes and just do something, some small thing to keep you moving forward and just get it done. And accept that sometimes things aren't gonna be perfect. And if you keep waiting for the perfect time, you're just gonna be waiting forever.
Totally agree. I think the key is taking the first step, right? I mean, everything looks overwhelming, but at the end, you always manage it to overcome it.
And how do you eat an elephant? Do you know this Do you know this joke?
You chop it into small chunks. Sorry, I don't know.
How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, makes sense, right? Just breaking it down into small, manageable chunks. That would be my biggest tip. And also accepting that done is better than perfect. What is the weirdest thing that you've ever done to make money? I know what my favorite story of yours is. It's about the time that you chopped off pieces of the Berlin Wall and then you sold it to tourists.
Well, I was just, I would say, just helping out with tear down the wall quicker. And, turned out people like to buy those graffiti
how did
pieces.
you do it? You went with like a backpack, right?
Backpack and...
Chisel?
Chisel, definitely. You need, hammer, chisel, right? The typical thing. And you would take the pieces that has most graffiti on it, right? That proves that it's original. Was 1989, and in November, and tourists love that. They want a piece of the history, and and I think we were all doing just the right thing, right? Tear down the wall.
I bet you wish that you had kept a piece of it now, don't you?
Definitely.
That's a piece of history.
Definitely. Yeah, I think in hindsight, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20. The weirdest thing that I've ever done to make money is probably I worked as a tattoo artist and piercer. So I've mentioned before that my dad was like a big tattooed Harley Davidson riding tough guy, and he got me a job at the tattoo parlor that he got all his tattoos from. And so I worked there behind the counter for a couple of years and studied and listened and learned. And then I did some tattoos and piercings. And I used to have a lot of piercings. I don't have any tattoos. I had a half sleeve design, but I was too poor to afford to get it done.
Did you tattoo your dad too?
I did not tattoo my dad, but I actually did pierce his ears. He had several ear piercings and I did another one for him. That was when he was sick. It was a nice memory from one of our later memories. This is for me. What is the hardest part of having your own YouTube channel? I think the hardest part for me it isn't making the videos or anything else. It's the emotional part, honestly, is just like being afraid of putting myself and my story out there because it's so personal.
Yeah, you're pretty brave, I would say. I mean, a lot of the stuff, you find the right courage, right? To be honest about it and talk about it.
Yeah. I don't know why. Why am I like this?
It's okay.
I just feel like when I see other people...
It's okay.
Being afraid that like people will judge you, people won't like you, and people say some mean things. Like I have people saying mean things to me all the time. Like they say that our home is boring. They say that I have a squeaky voice and I'm annoying. Oh, they comment that I don't wash my clothes often enough and I stink. I mean, I guess you just got to get over the emotional barrier of fear and not be afraid to put yourself out there and be judged or feel like you're a failure or anything like that. What do you think? Has anything been hard for you? Having a wife with a YouTube channel?
I don't think hard. I would say I can see it helps you in some way as well to share your experience. In some way it made you happy, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's very important to me. No, I don't think it's hard for me.
Hi, I seem to be addicted to garage sales and thrift stores. Even though I find bargains and a lot of times I can resell these items, I still want to minimize this area in my life. Do you have any suggestions on how I need to change my thinking? I completely can understand this because for a long time, I was also doing too much thrift shopping because I would go and I would take stuff to donate and then I would go and look and see and I'd be like, oh, it's such a great deal, or if it doesn't fit me, then I can just resell it. And I would always buy stuff that I knew I could resell for more money later, but then I was still, I was getting stuff out, but I was still bringing stuff in. And I think that the number one thing to do for me was just not to go in, is to avoid and change your behavior and really only go looking when you have an actual need. Like make a list. If you don't need something, if you don't have a need for something, then don't go just browsing. And that's a good first step. He doesn't thrift, so he doesn't know anything about this, right?
That's true. I can't really offer any good advice on this.
Does Mr. Zen watch YouTube? If so, what is his favorite type of video?
Definitely Marissa's channel.
Oh, stop.
I do watch all your videos, but yeah, I would say other videos, food. I love
food videos.
Food videos. Used to watch car videos, but that's about it, I think. You know, it takes a lot of time to watch videos.
What he does is it bothers me because he won't actually open the video to watch it. He'll just watch it in like the search tab with no sound whatsoever, and I just don't understand that.
Yeah, well, you know, you have limited time, right? And you don't want to just spend the time watching something turn out you don't like it, right? So you really want to invest your 20 minutes that you have for video, right, really well.
Oh yeah, is that the mindset?
That's partly the reason behind it. Yeah.
I think that also what we watch a lot in our family, not because of him, but Diti is very into weird sea creatures. So it's like all the time we're looking up weird sea creatures, and in fact for Christmas that's something that we got him, is a book of weird sea creatures and these deep sea creature plastic animals that he loves with isopods and I don't even know what else, gulper eels. So that's another thing that we watch a lot in our family. Yeah,
he's definitely a walking encyclopedia of wild animals.
He's a 6-year-old marine biologist, for real. Yeah, incredible. Siphonophores, all sorts of strange marine creatures. The stranger the better. Do you think that minimalism has made you more positive and peaceful, or were you always a wonderful, kind-spirited being? That's a really sweet question.
I would definitely think you were always kind-spirited.
But not peaceful.
Maybe a little bit under stress, you know.
Yeah.
But I would say minimalism definitely benefited that a lot.
Both of us. I am definitely not naturally a relaxed person. I would say I am more of a high stress personality. In fact, I've dealt with anxiety quite a bit in the past. So minimalism has definitely helped with just me being more relaxed and calmer and being able to handle things as they arise.
I was always a minimalist though. I never had anything. I mean, when you had like an apartment full of things, my things fit all in the back seat, in the trunk, in the back seat of my Honda Accord, and you know, so I never had more, and I was always lived that lifestyle.
Didn't you, when you were like first out of college, you just lived in a like basically empty apartment with a mattress on the floor, and your mom cried when she came to visit you? Didn't that happen? Was your mattress on the floor at that time?
It was actually on the floor, but I really liked it, and you know.
You were an extreme minimalist back before it was popular.
Well, I mean, I just like that lifestyle of being able to pack everything up in 30 minutes and, you know, leave or go to a different place. But I think my mom definitely viewed it from a different angle, and she felt like, you know, I was living in poverty. I wasn't really living in poverty. I had a good job already. It's just the lifestyle. I enjoyed it. I liked it. So I would say I never really knew anything else than minimalism.
I would say that you tend to hang on to certain things that don't make sense either.
Yeah.
Like too many socks. I'm calling you out here. But you know, because he grew up and he only had one pair of shoes and one pair of socks, you always have this mentality of like scarcity mindset with socks, I think. That you hold on to socks even when they're getting holes in them. It's hard for you to get rid of them.
It's probably true. I think that's probably the one area where I would say, yeah, I tend to hold on to my socks.
Do you find it hard how minimalism looks to others? I'm well on the way to minimalism, and I have a lot of comments about how extreme it is, or how my daughter is missing out, and it's sad that she won't have any memory items. And I don't believe these statements, of course, but I find it hard to give polite and respectful responses. People have a lot of opinions, and
yeah, you know, my personal view is memory of experiences, right? Instead of things. I don't think
Experiences over gifts,
yeah,
right?
exactly. I think no matter how many gifts or how many items you give to a child, when they grow up, they won't remember those things. They remember the moment or the trip to a place and etc. I think that's, the memory I think they would appreciate more when they grow up.
And I don't think we're like against gift giving either. Like
No,
we
no.
still give our kids gifts for Christmas and stuff, but we try to make sure to
More
pick things
meaningful,
that
right?
they're meaningful
Yeah.
or they enjoy, like that have high value to them. Like I certainly probably wouldn't pick to give my son Pokemon cards, but that's what he loves is Pokemon cards. And so he got this really nice Pokemon card pack and a binder to store and organize it. And he talks about it with his friends. And like I said, Didi got this weird sea creature books and the toys. So that's very meaningful to him. So I think it's just finding things that they value and trying to support that. The only people who have a say in how you handle gift giving are the people that live in your house. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
I think that we do have people that think that we are also too extreme. And when I look around at our house, like I don't feel like we're extreme at all. Do you?
No.
Like people look at our house and they say, oh, you're so extreme and your house is boring and it's empty and it's cold. And I'm like, no, we have so much fun together. And there's meaningful and stuff that has value to us in every single room. Like the things that we have all over have the stories of our past that are so special to like me and you.
Yes, things that are meaningful to us, we have it. And I think we really value a space, right? I mean, that's probably one area where we say, we're definitely indulging a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's space. We love space.
We love space. Yeah, for sure. I think everyone is looking forward to hearing an update on what's going on with the job hunt and you here. So do you mind giving us an update?
Sure, yeah. I'm working on a project. I'm definitely not ready yet to update everyone. When the right time comes, I'm more than happy to do that. Hopefully that's okay.
I think everyone will be fine with that. Yeah, I don't want you guys to worry, like we're okay, we're happy, everything is fine. I actually had people in the comments, like when we did the video before, they said they would start a GoFundMe page for us. We do not need a GoFundMe page, guys. We are all good. We are just taking our time and figuring out what the next step is for us. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video with me and Mr. Zen, and I just want to remind you that coming at the beginning of February, we are going to be challenging you to do a no spend challenge with us for the entire month of February. I'm gonna call it Frugal Living February, and we are going to participate in a no spend challenge. I'm gonna give you guys some ideas on how you might modify it to fit your budget and your family. We've already talked about it with us, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that's it. Until next week, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.